Welcome to Cloud Interrupted. We're going to spend a few minutes here today talking about the importance of a well-maintained Active Directory and DNS structure/strategy. And I know that's a mouthful, but we've had some experience onboarding some customers, and that hasn't been the case, has it?
No, in fact, it's been unfortunately fairly frequent to find significant issues with either AD or DNS, or really at the core both, behind a lot of clients when we're doing an onboarding.
Yeah.
Issues that they've overlooked, that they've just sort of, well, we'll fix that when we have some time. And they just sort of build up over the years until they become real significant problems that have to be dealt with.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. Like what are some of those problems that we've run into?
Well, one client we had, it wasn't specifically that their AD was the problem. They were getting cryptoware outbreaks, but those cryptoware outbreaks required remediation and recovery, and that recovery was significantly impacted because of the issues they were having with their Active Directory, which were at the core issues that they were having with their DNS.
Sure.
The old joke, and I mean, this is IT, so joke I use very loosely in quotes, but the old joke is the perfect haiku that every IT engineer needs to know. It's not DNS. It cannot be DNS. It was DNS.
I've heard you say that type of thing before. More times than not, if there's an issue like this, it's usually around DNS, and that's usually where we got to start.
Yeah, if two computers are supposed to be communicating and they're not, there's probably some DNS problem at their core. Net logon errors, the event logs are a great place to check for these, because you're going to see a lot of these errors crop up time and again, but they're going to be recurring errors. And they won't even be like major errors. They'll be minor ones, but you'll see them by the dozens, by the hundreds, over and over and over again. And what really gets fun is when you have multiple domain controllers in an environment and you get a different error result from each domain controller.
Oh, okay.
We've had that happen before. And so, the primary will show different issues than the secondaries, or the ones on-prem will show different issues than the ones that are in Azure. And so it takes some fairly significant troubleshooting to dial through, filter through, and figure out, this is going to be the problem that you need to deal with this problem first. You need to deal with this machine first.
Sure. So, you've given an example here already of like how bad something can go. Like what would people should maybe consider, like, to avoid this type of thing?
Well, there are multiple things that can be done. DC diag is just a simple command that can be run. You can run it, pull logs from it, and try and start resolving through the issues. Sometimes you may have an old domain controller still listed. If you've ever demoted one, it wasn't fully demoted, or it wasn't deleted out of all the records it should have been. Mm-hmm. And so some machines may still be looking for it. But the ultimate step, if you've ever had to drop and re-add a machine to a domain because it's lost its connection, that's actually a fairly good indicator that you might want to look at. Is there an old bad domain controller somewhere still being referenced by one of, it'll only be referenced on one of your domain controllers. It won't be referenced on all of them. Replication isn't running the way it's supposed to between them. But there are various steps. I mean, the ultimate step, of course, is build an entirely new domain, drop everything you have from the existing domain, and join them to the new one, the new fresh one. It's the surest way to drop all of your problems, but it's not practical when you've got 200 machines, and that would require having 200 local administrator accounts and manually rejoining 200 machines to a new domain. However, it can be it's your last resort if needed.
Right. So, you mentioned like an early sign of if you're going to have some problems. Are there some other things that people should watch out for that might be early stages of an ongoing or potentially larger issue?
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of different issues that could be indicative of a DNS or an Active Directory problem. If you're ever having problems with two accounts, that one account can log in, but another account cannot at the same machine, whereas both accounts work perfectly well. Perhaps one account is still stored under cached credentials from an old domain controller, and the new account, it's trying to reach out to the old bad domain controller to authenticate those credentials, and so it's going to not successfully authenticate, even though it makes you think it's authenticating, because it's always been authenticating to the old bad domain controller. It's going to be a lot of weird, inconsistent things like that. It's just going to be anything in terms of accounts, file access, permissions like that, where it's very inconsistent. If you can do it at one machine, but you can't do it at another, and you're trying to do the exact same thing with the exact same account, you've probably got a DNS or Active Directory problem going on in there somewhere.
Right. So, Active Directory is and DNS is such a powerful tool that a lot of companies, even small businesses, are even using it today. If you're spinning up Office 365, you have a very small form of Azure Active Directory that they're leveraging. And then, when you become more and more reliant on this, I can see how if you don't keep an eye on it and deploy things correctly and making sure that you're on the proper footing, things can really go haywire really quickly.
Yeah, very much so. Azure Active Directory makes things a little bit, there's a difference in that you're not worrying about physical domain controllers anymore, unless you're running a hybrid environment. If you're just running pure Azure AD, then you're really just worrying about your internet connection. And it does, for smaller environments, that may be a way to go. That may be a thing to look at, is you lose some of the capabilities that a true Active Directory grants, but you avoid some of the potential pitfalls.
Well, you can make up some of those pitfalls with Azure Domain Services too, right?
True. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think that's where, we might have seen some issues, is that we have a lot of corporations who have been working with Active Directory on-prem for years, and they try to forklift it up, or they're trying to do the hybrid scenario. And then if something is broken on premises, it's probably going to replicate in the cloud too.
Exactly. And that's, unfortunately, that can be the time where you find what you thought was working perfectly well. In fact, it works okay on-prem. It's only when you try to bring in the hybrid with Azure Active Directory that these things that were technically problems all along actually crop up, and this pile of oily rags in the corner, it's been fine for years. Well, Azure AD is the thing that makes it spark.
So, as Stratum, we've moved a lot of people to the cloud, and at this point, before they go to the cloud, that's usually why we recommend an Active Directory review, or just to make sure that we're good to go, and that we set that up properly in the cloud, so we're not perpetuating current issues.
Absolutely. Better if you can start with a clean, fresh, reliable Active Directory, you're going to get a much better result out of it after you make the hybrid, or after you hybridize, or you make the jump into the cloud.
So, well, with that being said, is there anything else that you can think of that we probably should have covered here? I know it's a short video, but I think it's a pretty important one, especially people considering moving to Azure.
It's really just make sure your on-prem environment is actually okay. Not just just because it functions the way you want it to now doesn't mean it's actually functioning correctly. Do your due diligence, go through DC Diag, check and see if there's any errors there, and make sure that you've actually got everything functioning correctly. Don't assume that just because you haven't seen fire doesn't mean there aren't flammables waiting to catch.
Right. And if you need some help with that, Stratum Technology is here to help. So head over to stratumtechnology.com and we'll reach out and see if we can help with an assessment or a little chat.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching Stratum's Cloud Interrupted. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and share this video.